Hello and welcome. It's January 2nd, 2026. Welcome to the Illuminators Forum, episode number 5 for the State of XR and Immersive Learning's Scan and Reporting Project. My name is Jonathon Richter. Glad to be your host. And today we have a different sort of webinar where the spotlight is on you, that is everyone, as we launch the recasting of Immersive Learning Research Network as an open society for immersive learning professionals. So we want to have this conversation with all members of our network, and rather than scan um, the what happened in 2025, we have a special episode where we look forward to 2026. Um, so this is a different kind of forum where it's not so much scanning for evidence of this emerging future that happened in 2025, but it's starting to make sense making together as an association for 2026. iLearn has been around now for 10 years. And in the 10 years, we've gone from a group that really focused on trying to get the computer scientists who created immersive learning experiences with their hardware and software and their engineering and understanding, and bring them together with education technology, educational professionals. Um, and we did that for 4 or 5 years, and then really started focusing on also adding in the game design community into iLearn. And they became sort of the three primary audiences for our conference: the computer scientists, the game designers, and the learning professionals. So, and in that time, the technology, of course, has really advanced incredibly the whole time as we've been going along. It's just been a wild ride for 10 years, and changing from trying different things to working together to elevate things. It's been, there's a lot of innovation and things we've tried. And yeah, so here we are. 2026. Welcome. But what feels different now? Like, here we are, 2026. Um, Things are no longer just, speeding up. Um, the rate of adoption for people using these immersive learning experiences has picked up. And we're starting to see lots of different kinds of questions about um, how it's getting made and what responsibilities we might have in the making of these kinds of immersive experiences. Um, of course, we've had artificial intelligence, but we've also had just enormous, advances in computing, and the industry has really taken off. And there's so many different artists and technologists and standards groups around the world who are looking at this, and you're seeing the deployment of immersive um, learning happening in different geographic places and centers of excellence around the world in an uneven way. But it's definitely reached this point where we're now collectively sort of responsible for the direction, whether we like it or not. The power is there, and we have these connections, and we have the knowledge. Um, but how it gets done, and if we're going to take collective responsibility, and how that works, um, that remains to be seen. So it's 2026, and we have this kind of central question: um, what should immersive learning be accountable for this year? Right on the cusp of these big changes, they're already underway. But we know that this coming year is going to just rapidly advance these things. Tumultuous change, the tumult is guaranteed. Um, but can we work together to effect change in a better way? So why does this matter now? We got three signals at this threshold of this year. We have sort of societal expectations have changed. They've gotten sharper in terms of demanding to know the ethics of the things. The voices have gotten louder and more diverse around what ought to happen in immersive learning. And we're starting to see, collisions, but we're also starting to see incredible opportunities. Um, and so the conversations around the ethics, but also the equity, like, and the access, the new digital divide is more complex and more interesting than ever. Um, you're also starting to see in 2025 this institutional adoption that's really accelerating. It's no longer experimental, and this is happening at higher education institutions and in K-12 and in healthcare and medical situations, and governments are starting to write policies and the frameworks that are putting these in place. Um, More and more all the time. It's happening. Uh, so again, and then the collective impact is kind of visible. You're seeing what happens when people work together to create policy. What happens when people collaborate on practice, and what happens when you have effective strategic communications, and the public is starting to understand of what's possible to move forward. So in essence, when the field moves from the margin to the mainstream, that this accountable um, nature it becomes non-negotiable, right? Um, we may have been able to be innovative and more free before, but as a collective impact group, we now must be more accountable. Um, because it's mainstream, and suddenly, we need to educate and work together. So who this conversation is for? It's for everyone that's in this space. It's for the institutional leaders who are setting the direction. It's for the researchers who are documenting what works and sharing it with their colleagues and other disciplines and with the public. It's with the educators who are designing the learning experiences across augmented and mixed and virtual realities. It's the developers who are creating new platforms and ways to be immersive, and it's for the designers and the educators who are building immersive experiences, making interactions for students and learners and the public and for consumers. And we have students who are then experiencing and shaping these practices, and many young people now um, learning about immersive learning design, going very young. Institutional leaders, of course, is worth mentioning a second time. But today's format, we hope to have just this open architecture for reflection. If you're here live, thank you for coming. We want to reflect together on where we stand with the Immersive Learning Research Network, and where we are at this moment in time and in history with XR and immersive learning. Um, Perhaps talk about some of the signals that are happening right now that matter most to you, to us, and consider what accountability looks like in practice. Um, how might we collaborate around standards? How might we create competencies? How might we develop workforce collaboration techniques that help us together as a team end up in high quality learning experiences? How do we report that to parents and stakeholders of all sorts? And if you're joining later, watch the YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future Illuminators forums. And you can also contribute through the 2026 vision form, which will be in our notes on YouTube, and we'll put it here in chat for those of you live to take our open survey about what is your vision for immersive learning in 2026. So we've got, four questions in terms of just helping to frame some of the discussion about this open society. Where do you see immersive learning having the most consequential impact in 2026? What accountability frameworks might guide us or our work? Um, what voices or perspectives are missing from our conversation? Who do we need to bring in to highlight? Um, and what evidence do we need that we don't yet have in order to answer the questions, in order to collaborate effectively? Um, how do we make this happen? So again, iLearn is attempting to move from a scholarly network with a conference to a persistent, open, immersive society that really helps us to realize our mission, and it turns things from scholarly and research and practice-based conversation and recasts it into ways that we can share evidence, compare and contrast what works in immersive learning, look at and compare and create dialogue spaces for everyone, and um, create accountability measures and public dialogue mechanisms that are meaningful. So it's not just a professional association that we're hosting, but we're translating that into public venues and impacts. So how you could engage, there's four ways. You can join us live. Thanks for joining us. If you're here in the Zoom, you can always click on the register link when our LinkedIn or Facebook announcements come out. And you can watch and respond asynchronously through our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching our video if you're watching right now. And here is the 2026 vision tally form that we use, our iLearn questionnaire that'll just take you 5 to 10 minutes to gather your perspectives on what do you think is that we need and what do you think is coming next. We'd love it if you could contribute to our open society and have your voice heard. So join iLearn is another way to engage and present your work at iLearn 2026. You can do that online in extended reality, in Frame VR, or another extended reality application, or you can come to Athens, Greece, where our 12th annual international conference will be held in June 2026. So take a look at the iLead stream if you would like to present for teachers and designers, people who co-create educational and immersive learning applications and experiences. Our lively industry group is larger every single year, and we expect this year to be absolutely amazing. So what happens next is that your input can power our three initiatives, both our State of XR 2026 that launches at the November 8th unconference of next year, or also the Immersive Futures Report on our Discord for continental and future study scans, and our Open Society framework which includes the conference and impacts through governance, ethics, and standards. So we're not asking you for just a reflection. We really want to start working together to create this groundwork for collective action. We really think this works only if we start working together. So iLearn isn't the only thing that's hosting this dialogue. iLearn is one facet. It's one way, and we'd like to participate in a much larger conversation. Please connect with us. So our closing invitation is right that immersive learning is entering this very, very, very consequential phase in its history. Like whatever happens after this year is also going to be just wild and amazing. But what happens this year is a groundwork. Like the power of immersive learning is right here for us. And the decisions and the consequences of the policies and the collective actions that we take together really could spell which direction those things go in. So please join us to co-create together and shape the power of immersive learning in ways that can really um, be the kind of learning that we want that with heart and emotionally grounded human spaces, family spaces, relational spaces, friendship, and love. So your questions are welcome. The floor is open, and really, truly, your voice matters. Thanks. Um, it looks like we have some people in our audience. Just let me see if I can shift. Hello, everybody. There we are. I'm going to invite my good friend and colleague Caitlin Krause to join us. Caitlin, you see an invitation there? I think you can hop on stage if you'd like.
Hello, I'm joining, and this is really funny because
Sure.
I'm popping in and on my way to the dog park in a couple minutes. So
Oh,
I
wow.
I
Perfect.
joined to listen, but here I am in
Hi.
California. Yep, and
Hi.
I really value this community. So I guess I'm modeling just that space we are in on January 2nd, people who are in education kind of holding on to a little of that, what do you call it, liminal space as we enter the new year
Uh-huh.
2026. And it's a good time to make these dreams more visible and shared. So I came on a whim, just seeing the time and saying, I need to be here. I put the link in the chat for people who are in the lifetime with us and want to join that tally because I saw it on your slide, Jonathan, and what
Oh,
you
fantastic.
really powerful. So it's good to be here, everybody. And if you see me take one of those mindful exits, it's because here in California we've had a deluge of rain, and it's a little interim where there's a space to
Right.
and play.
Between atmospheric rivers.
Yeah, between I know I'd never heard of an atmospheric
I
river
know.
in recently.
Now it's part of the lingo.
Yeah.
Oh,
So how
yeah.
are
No,
you, my friend, and this community? I mean, you named what you're looking forward to, and I think the word relational means a lot to me. I'd like to
yeah.
be part of building that.
Yeah. I mean, I, it's such a pivotal moment, I think. And, iLearn has been very much like scientific frameworks and
Yeah.
methodologies. And we've had association membership paths and focused on practitioner, modalities, literacies.
Hmm.
And I think we're ready, like the shift for me is relational and it's personal. It's situated like it's it's all the amazing people with all of their incredible narratives that they personally have and
Right.
connections
Right.
to all of the incredible people that we have worldwide. That iLearn's always been a little bit magical. Like that's the thing that's propelled me forward is
Yeah.
the people. It, it just
Well,
I don't know what the special sauce is for connecting to all these amazing people, but it's been special, like really special.
I agree. I agree. And the humans in the system, um, we are not of the system. That keeps repeating itself to me. Of course, I'm getting philosophical, but I think we can be in immersive systems and sometimes think so much about the tech and it's
Yeah,
obvious, but this is if we have relational context, I think that I've written recently about um, well-being, mental health, the
right.
need for not just reductive safeguards, but there are frameworks for relational trust. So it's both conditional and based on our life context, because people will say to me, "What's well-being?" And they want me to like list steps, and
Yeah,
I'm the first person to say, well, it's a digital well-being is not wishy-washy, but it needs to be context dependent based on your condition, your lifestyle, your culture.
right.
And we can go global and still have frameworks that are about physical embodiment, layers of spatial, layers of well-being driven by curiosity. So I think more that people can understand the both and that there are frameworks and it's not just you know, however you choose to be, but it's
Right.
not restrictive. Um, I just keep dreaming of better ways to use immersive technology. And here in this iLearn and Circle of Scholars and the programs that you and Chris and everybody in network are driving, I think there's more to be done in 2026.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so thanks for letting me or inviting me, I guess, to just be here and share and
Yeah.
not have some places start and they're like, this is the agenda, and they already have their mission. And I think that can keep our blinders on. I like that
Right.
you're saying what matters to this community and how can we play together.
Yeah, I think I have to credit my the general chairs and my conference committee in Greece because they selected this
Oh,
open society as their theme.
great.
George Koutromanos and Tassos Makropoulos and Daphne Economou and
Wow.
Stylianos. Um, the, they were the ones who selected that theme, and it
Mm,
really, it just keeps coming up every time I put it down into a blog post or every time this open society. And so
yeah.
really started thinking about how much we really do need to have that not just direction, but vision for
Yeah.
enabling an open society. And it really is counter to a lot of the ways that narratives are being developed in the media today. Um, you
Mm,
know, I think we do have all the power to be able to control our narrative and we can co-create in connective kind of relational ways that were absolutely unavailable to us ever before. And so it might be hard with all of the craziness and the violence and the threat and the
yeah.
weirdness happening in today's world for us not to choose safety and not to choose connection, to feel paranoid or cut off from these things. But I really think that if we do this work of connecting with each other and
Hmm.
building upon one another, it's not just an expert network. It's a connective tissue that I think, wow, I can wax poetic or talk about, in a hypomanic sort of way, about all the possibilities, but it truly does, sort of hold within it like potential for us as a species to go to places we've only dreamed about. We've talked about VR for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah. And humans need rituals. And I find,
Yeah.
I talk about this with Andy Fidel all the time, but it's like, here we are, and we all just want different ways to sit around a fire, like different ways to sit around a campfire and share. And of course, that's a metaphor, but I think for
Oh,
us, you know, we can paint it any way we want. And it's not just sitting still. Sometimes that fire is our collective making or our
yep.
co-creative culture. But I think we're moving into more of a collaboration phase in our global society, and now it is about trust. And so, where are these networks of trust? Where can we
Hmm.
frame our intentions and then focus on some of the simple ways that we can manage the noise, which is there, and still keep our health and well-being front and center. Yeah, and not always treat it like a broken system to be fixed, but like, I'm going to keep bringing up that word play because I think we need it in the midst of the heaviness.
We
Um,
do.
I appreciate being here. I'm gonna have to go to the dog park.
Hi,
But
Luna. Have a good
yeah, I
walk.
know Luna's right there. She's
Oh.
like staring at me. We're getting ready. But I appreciate you. So I'm gonna just say bye to everybody in our network and we'll talk really soon, okay?
Okay, Caitlin. Thanks
All
for
right.
dropping by.
Thank you for having me at the
We'll talk to you
drop-in.
soon.
I'll
Let's.
talk to you soon.
Okay,
And
my
thanks for
friend.
all you're doing to champion this. All right.
Appreciate it so much.
Take care.
Okay,
Bye
you
for
too.
now.
Bye. Wow. Caitlin's awesome, isn't she? Um, yeah, those of you who in the Immersive Learning Research Network listening to this video, um, contact us, complete the survey. And like I said, the link to the tally form is in the comments or in the description of this YouTube episode. And thank you so much for all of your um, imagination, your expertise, and your hearts. Uh, Thanks. Happy 2026.